well, actually I started this year by saying that 85% of the things that I own will be gone. For me, sometimes I just need a goal. I need like a hard deadline to get me motivated. I'd say in January, I was riding that line pretty hard. I was really committed to my goal of getting 85% of the things that we own out of here. I just think there is a way to declutter and declutter slowly. My husband actually asked me where I got this 85%, and to be honest, I just kind of pulled it out of thin air because I didn't really know. And I still don't really know where I got 85%. I was just like, you know what, 75% sounds good, but I really want to be minimal. Really committed to getting rid of all the excess in my life, in my family's life, and really working on just minimizing and keeping the things that we own to a very small amount. There really is no reason to rush into minimizing. I know, like, in the beginning of the year, we had this storage unit that we're trying to get rid of. So it was easy to confront all the things that were in that storage unit and make those decisions. Like, if they are going to live in here, where are they going to go? And if we don't have the space for them, we can just get rid of them or let them go. While I still am committed to minimizing my home, if I get stuck on an item, I'm going to ask, have I used this in the last year? Do I intend to use it in the next year? Does it serve a clear purpose? And, you know, it can be a question mark for a while. I think that's really a valuable lesson to learn, especially when it comes to a time will tell bin or just not knowing for sure if you're going to need an item anymore. Like, we almost got rid of our waffle maker, and then my husband was like, oh, do we still have the waffle maker? And we went back and we actually did still have it. So we were able to make waffles on a Saturday morning like we used to. So since focusing on just the stuff inside these four walls, I've really stopped letting things in my home as well. And I'm really conscious of the things that do come in the door. It really did not happen overnight. I mentioned in my 2023 reflection video that the best goal or intention I set for myself that year was to make first, thrift second, and buy like brand new third. And that just like totally transformed how I was purchasing items, and it still is affecting me this year. I really like talk about this one decision being a catalyst for all of this change in my life. I just had this stopping point in my buying process, which allowed me the chance to like truly consider if it was something that I needed or was it just something that I was wanting. And as I mentioned in my previous videos, the Savor Your Life video, I really am a slow decision maker. I like to have time to process things and really consider how something would work for me. So like slowly I've been gathering information on minimalism over the past couple years, and I've just always romanticized the process probably, but I just think there's something to it that I just can't let go of. I believe that you can declutter your home, and I think you can declutter it slowly. It doesn't have to be this hard and fast, like ruthless way of getting rid of everything. I feel like I am a slow learner, and I like taking bits and pieces of knowledge from people and making it my own. You're obviously not copying everybody, but you're just taking these little bits of pieces of knowledge that like resonate with you and creating your own framework in which you make it work for yourself, for your home, for your family. So obviously this is the year that I'm really trying to be minimal, and I'm trying to be really conscious of the environment of our home. I'm really a work in progress, and that's all I can say. Like I said, I feel like I've been gathering information on minimalism over the past couple years, and I really wanted to test if it could work for me. So I've like dabbled a little bit in like clothing declutters, random home declutters, and obviously this massive storage unit decluttering that I did was huge. I'm so glad we don't have it anymore. I'm so glad we have a space for the things that we wanted to keep, and we're able to get rid of the things that we could let go of. I was forced into confronting all of the things that I accumulated in the first few years of my marriage. I've been married 5 years, and you just accumulate so many things. And I've had 2 kids, and like the things just don't stop coming. Like we just had a birthday and we got more things. So it's like evaluating like what are the things that are adding value to our home, and what are the things that could potentially take away from the value that we're trying to achieve in our home. Like I just know what this upcoming year is going to look like, and having as few things as we can have as possible will just help us moving out through the rest of the year. And there are a few other things that I've observed during this process that I'm going to share with you now. My children are not as attached to their toys as I thought they were. I have seen my son, if a toy is broke, he'll just say, oh, it broke, time to put it in the garbage. And he just does it on his own. And I was just kind of shocked that he wasn't as attached to his toys as I thought he was going to be. So I thought we were going to have like these big long conversations like, yes, toys break. It's sad when they do. But he just like, oh, it's broken. Goes in the garbage. Now, personally, I am way more attached to certain things than I realized, really more than anybody else in my house. I guess it's part of like my frugal upbringing. I just feel like I can never throw things away because there's something, like I could use it for something. So I always have to pause at that. When I say that in my head, I'm like, oh, I could use that for something. But will I actually get to it? And will it actually add value to our home? Most of the time, it's a no. So I can just be like, okay, this served us for a time. We can let it go to somebody else. Sometimes it's really hard for me to just pass it on to somebody else. I'm working on it though. I'm convinced if you feel like your kitchen is always in a state of chaos, you need to minimize the amount of dishes that you have. Call me crazy, but I'm a girl who has been hand washing dishes since I got married, and I can tell you the fewer dishes we have, the less overwhelm I have in the kitchen. I don't know what it is, but it's really like this scarcity loop. Like you need to put yourself in a dishes scarcity loop so that you're doing your dishes more often. Because if you know that you only have 4 plates, then you know once that 4th plate is used, you need to do your dishes. You don't always have to reach for the next plate. You can do your dishes right away. And you know, I'm not home with my kids all the time, so like this gets a little bit blurred since I am not at home. I think doing the dishes every couple days is really been key for us, and it's really been helpful because once you limit the amount of dishes you have, like again, you're in this scarcity loop of like, oh, I'm gonna need to do those dishes, so you do them more often. It doesn't become this big overwhelming chore with all of these dishes, all the silver, all the plates that you have, every single cup that you have, it's easier to manage because there is less. I feel like sometimes it can be a little overwhelming and daunting, and I've really let overwhelm take over my life for way too long, and I feel like any tidbits of information that I can pass on to you, like knowing that like you can minimize and it doesn't have to go fast, you can minimize, you can take 2 years to minimize your home, but I feel like we need to go through these phases of decluttering so that we can build our decluttering muscle. Sometimes I think we are so focused on the results that we don't realize what it will actually take to get there. Everybody's journey with decluttering and minimizing is different, and I think it's so valuable to learn other things that you can do from other people. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.